Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generated game. When we left off in the previous episode, we jumped into yet another war, or I suppose I should say we were dragged into it because of our troublesome leader. Even though he has been trying to be quite protective and attentive of the clan, I don't think long term we are going to thrive much under his leadership because his focus is constantly poking and prodding the vampire hunters and sabotaging them. Obviously, no matter how many times we have peace or how long that peace lasts, it is not going to be something that the vampire hunters are ever going to be comfortable with because that peace is going to be tenuous, especially with the vampires, constantly on their doorstep. So anyways, that aside, we also had our fledgling age up into a Mistwalker. So where is she? She's actually up in the leader's den. Dusty Cave, our troublesome leader's daughter. She managed to finally make it through her entire apprenticehood, which was great, nicely and safely. And she also got the title of the Dusty Princess, as, the only fledgling in her batch. But okay, we are going to continue with our clan and see what they get up to today. It is, I think, a relatively calm day, guys. It is currently Moon 20. We are still in Leaf Fall. Let's have a look. Oh, before we do this, just really quickly, in the leader's den, we have... Wait, we're neutral with Gossamer Clan, even though we're at war with Gossamer Clan? And we also are hostile with the other two clans, Day Clan and Wind Clan. Are we actually neutral with them? Fascinating. Anyways, war negotiations with the Gossamer clan went badly at the last gathering, so I suppose we were once more invited to the private gathering of the vampire hunters to see if maybe we'd be able to pursue peace. Didn't go so well. Blue Jay finally feels back to normal after the strain of birthing a litter. I feel like Blue Jay has actually been through a lot emotionally and relationship-wise. So I'm really happy to see her finally feeling good after having her kids. But she's gonna have her paws full with 3 kids. Not only that, but she still has, I think, some lingering feelings for Burnleaf. Even though Burnleaf doesn't really feel the same. And yes, Blue Jay did have the companionship with Quiet Flight, but now Quiet Flight has been getting along so well with her own match, even though it's still a formality, so I suppose Blue Jay still has a chance with her. But Quiet Flight has been getting along really well with Hazel Pelt, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Fire Kit no longer has a running nose, so let's take a look at the Medicine Cat Den. Blue Jay was given Juniper as treatment for recovering from birth, and then she recovered from that. Hazel Pelt was given Poppy as treatment for running nose. Fire Kit was given Ragwort as treatment for running nose, and recovered from that. So that's what we have, and all the cats actually look to be in good spirits, so pretty much everyone can go out on patrols, which is exciting. But let's take a look at relationships. Blue Jay hears Sunny Kit crying over something everyone downplayed the severity of. Now Sunny Kit is our skittish middle child who's a little bit invisible because he is not the favorite of either parent. But okay, I feel a little bit bad for him. I wonder what that was about. Maybe something really spooked him. Master Burnleaf asks Twilight Fade how he's doing. And that's the other thing. We were wondering if Burnleaf was finally going to rekindle his romance with Twilight Fade now that he isn't in a relationship with Blue Jay. Something good happens to Master Burnleaf, and most clanmates congratulate him, but Owlkit doesn't say anything at all. Maybe Owlkit... I think Owlkit, she's the oldest daughter if I'm not mistaken, and she's self-conscious. I wonder if she doesn't like the idea of her father maybe rekindling romance with Twilight Fade, and she wishes her father kind of stayed with the family. That would be an interesting dynamic. Quiet Flight thinks it's funny how closely Twilight Fade protects his fresh kill. So this cat and her former mentor get along quite well, which is good to see. Light Song helps Twilight Fade hide from a clanmate. Again, another cat who is a former fledgling of Twilight Fade, and has a kind of enemyship with Quiet Flight. Grandmaster Shivering Star and Master Burnleaf spend the morning telling interesting stories. It's good to see the cats in the inner circle getting along well, because, you know, they're the ones who kind of keep the clan running. Grandmaster Shivering Star loses in a race against Quiet Flight and acts bitterly about it. A big bug keeps buzzing around Lightsong and Alkit. Twilight Fade says something in passing that Quiet Flight keeps getting worked up about. I suppose it's inevitable that sometimes between former mentors and, you know, former fledglings, we do have some maybe miscommunication. Maybe, you know, there's instances of getting worked up and getting annoyed at certain things. You know, minor arguments or complaints. Hazel Pelt tells a joke that only Twilight Fade can understand. This is the other angle I'm worried about, is Twilight Fade, like how much Twilight Fade and Hazel Pelt have been getting along with each other. I mean, Hazel Pelt has been going good with Quiet Flight, but I do want him to focus on Quiet Flight. Actually, Hazel Pelt is already in love with Quiet Flight, but Quiet Flight needs to get on board. But I'm pretty sure, even though Twilight Fade has actually been quite attracted to this, I don't know what it is. Twilight Fade is a whisper, right? But he starts falling for cats that fall in love or act like they're in love. I don't know what it is. It gets to him. But even he knows that he can see, you know, Hazel Pelt is so devoted to his former fledgling, but his former fledgling, Quiet Flight, she just, for some reason, is really obtuse with certain things. She can't see it. Hazel Pelt talks with Sunny Kid about some clan drama. What drama, I wonder? What drama? Maybe the whole dynamic with Twilight Fade. Actually, the thing that Twilight Fade said in passing, maybe he made a comment about Quiet Flight being a bit obtuse, and Quiet Flight kept getting worked up about it because she doesn't understand why he's saying that. Maybe that's it. Dusty Cave had a huge argument with Twilight Fade. Alkit notices that Hazel Pelt is always one of the first to volunteer for a difficult task. And actually, you know how before we were saying that Alkit maybe doesn't like the idea of I just remembered, even though this isn't related to Hazel Pelt, but you know how Alkit, I was saying, maybe doesn't like the idea of her father Burnleaf getting too close or having a romance with Twilight Fade? That actually makes a whole lot of sense, because Alkit is the favorite child of Blue Jay. There we go. Sorry, I had a blank. But she's the favorite child of Blue Jay, so she would be really close to her mother, so it kind of makes sense that she is taking her mother's side, and she wishes her father would be more attentive to Blue Jay. A big bug keeps buzzing around Sunny Kid and Blue Jay, so some mother-son time of year. Son and mother time? Yeah. Fire Kid is telling a story to Grandmaster Shivering Star, and that's what we have for the events. Let me cut the recording here and let us continue with the cat list. Okay, time for us to continue with the cat list, starting off with our loyalties. I actually didn't notice any changes in the loyalties, so there is nothing to report on that front. Everything is still the same, and for the relationships, there wasn't anything of note there either. So we can go ahead and jump straight to Twilight Fade, take Hazel Pelt and Quiet Flight under the ruins to listen to the whispers and see if maybe, finally, Quiet Flight can start befriending Hazel Pelt or fall in love with him, because her mentor has actually been saying to her, or her former mentor, that, you know, she sometimes is not as sharp as he hopes that she would be. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Hazel Pelt, who is already friends with and in love with Quiet Flight, we know. Let's go ahead, see if maybe this is gonna be the moon. I mean, I'm really excited for Hazel Pelt and Quiet Flight to become more than just a formal match, but at the same time, I feel like Quiet Flight's success in this relationship is kind of gonna doom her relationship with Blue Jay, and I feel really bad for Blue Jay right now because I want her to have a happy ending too, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. And okay, comfort, respect increased, jealousy decreased, so even though Quiet Flight hasn't fallen in love with Hazel Pelt, she has now befriended Hazel Pelt. She considers him a friend. I think she notices his efforts, and she is very grateful and thankful to him for the attention that she gives to her and for the effort that he puts into this relationship. And actually, on that note, I don't know if I can find the exact comment, but Blue Jay, hold on a second. Vonel actually made a really good point about Blue Jay and Burnleaf's breakup. They were saying that Blue Jay is charismatic. Maybe she's used to attracting attention and being magnetic to the other cats. So yes, her mate was caring for her, but with no emotional attachment. It was only for the sake of having a peaceful family life, and it wasn't enough for her. Burnleaf, on the other hand, is a lonesome cat, so it's not surprising that he broke up just after his kittens were born, and when Blue Jay pressed him to reciprocate her affection. He was probably overwhelmed by the storm of having 3 kittens to care for, on top of a demanding mate he wasn't in love with. It was just too much for Burnleaf. And I thought that was an interesting point, because I didn't consider the fact that Blue Jay might be used to being so magnetic, and that Burnleaf would be overwhelmed by, the explosion in the number of his family members all of a sudden. So that's kind of interesting, and I think Quiet Flight, similarly as a charismatic cat, maybe it is used to being magnetic to a degree and probably appreciates the attention that Hazelpelt gives her. But so far, she's only managed to think of him as a friend. But because they both have green bars in their relationship panels now, it does mean that this is no longer considered a formal match. They are now mates, which is wonderful. They've gone from being each other's match to each other's mate, which makes me really, really happy. So Quiet Flight has been getting close to Hazelpelt, and maybe even she recognizes now that, you know what, this started off as something else, but she feels really secure in this relationship now. And I love that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and see what everyone is doing for the day. Grandmaster Shivering Star taunted a dog stuck behind a 2-leg fence. Master Burnleaf is humming a tune he heard near a 2-leg place. Hazelpelt plans to go out gathering herbs today, maybe find some more fun stories, and he's a great storyteller to tell his mate, Quiet Flight. Twilight Fade remembers every catch he's missed. Blue Jay is just so popular lately. Okay, well, I'm very glad that Blue Jay feels as though maybe everyone is constantly giving her attention and checking up on her as the clan's new mother, so that makes me very happy. I'm glad for her. Quiet Flight is batting at her tail. I feel like Quiet Flight might be a little bit shy right now, because probably she went into the whispering session and she finally realized, after being annoyed at her former mentor, she finally realized that Hazelpelt was in love with her. And I think that's what tipped her into becoming friends with him, because she saw his sincerity. And now that her mentor is maybe giving her the side eye, like, it took you long enough, I think Quiet Flight is a bit shy and maybe batting at her tail for that reason. Light Song saw a kitty pet with no fur at all. Dusty Cave worries about the lack of prey Leaf Bear will bring. Owlcat is crushing leaves under her paws. Oh, that's so cute. So she's helping Hazelpelt out at the medicine cat den. Sunny Cat is glad it's not so hot out anymore. Was there someone else who was glad about it not being too hot? No, I'm imagining things. And Fire Kit is running like a whirlwind around the camp. Oh, look at Fire Kit with her runny nose. That is now better, I think. Okay, well, that is all we have for the cat list. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Okay, let's continue with our patrols. We currently have 95 prey and we need 22, so we don't have to worry about food, thank goodness. Let's send out our Nightstalker Hazelpelt to see what he can grab. Leafwall holds the last chances to stock up on herbs that will die off in Leaf Bear, and Hazelpelt heads out to gather fresh mallow for the stores. Proceed. With the Leafwall mallow starting to die back in the next step in its endless perennial cycle, Hazelpelt collects all he can. That, as it turns out, is actually quite a lot, and noticing a withering betony plant, Hazelpelt hurries over to see what can be saved. Mallow and betony were gathered, and now we have a patrol of 6. So I've got Light Song, Blue Jay, Quiet Flight, Dusty Cave, Burnleaf, Master Burnleaf and Grandmaster Shivering Star. So let's see what they get up to. As the patrol is checking the border markings, a Wind Clan patrol appears and begins jeering at Grandmaster Shivering Star, one of the vampire hunting clans. So we've come across the vampire hunters. Oh my goodness, we are not at war with this particular group, but still, all the vampire hunters, they're hostile, they're actively hunting us down. Oh, Blue Jay is quick to strike up conversation with the other patrol, playfully poking fun at both Wind Clan and Vampire Clan. Her antics lighten the mood and make the other patrol cats laugh despite their previous aggression. Situation successfully diffused and cats on both sides feeling surprisingly friendly towards each other, the two patrols part ways. Relations with Wind Clan have improved. Oh my goodness, Blue Jay. Blue Jay, guys, I think is the star of the episode right now. Look at her. She only just recovered from birth, and she's already coming out here and making sure in her own way that she can protect her family. I love that. I mean, we have a camp full of kittens in the ruins that need to be protected, and obviously for them to thrive, they need their adults to be alive and happy and healthy and well, but that was really quick thinking on Blue Jay's pod, diffusing the situation like that. Maybe the vampires know that the vampire hunters might be struggling a little bit on their end as well, and even though the vampire hunters can be aggressive, not all of them might want to dive into a battle straight off the bat. Like, I'm sure the vampire hunters, have their own kittens they're trying to raise, they have their own numbers, their own sick and injured to look after as well. Okay, so that is all we managed to get done today, but I think it was a pretty good and productive day, especially in terms of maybe sorting out some of the family dynamics between the cats and making some progress with certain relationships. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.